E2 whānau kaupapa has actually opened my eyes to a number of things. It was really interesting to see how community organizers and community members could be sitting in the same room as people in the ministry and in government. I don't know if it's because of Toronto's population and the size of the city, but I've never seen it that intimately integrated. People who had been perpetrators of family violence were in that room. In a lot of spaces they would be excluded and portrayed as the bad person or something like that, but it was interesting to hear about their backstory and ensuring that the community is the one that wraps around them and fully understands them and supports them. But then it was also interesting to hear a lot of migrant communities there as well, talking about the problem that exists within their own communities and the kind of change that was happening using the framework of E2 whānau. So I remember there was a woman named Naima, and she was a Somali refugee, I believe, and she talked about the work that she had been doing in Auckland and the prevalence of violence in the migrant community, and especially the stigma surrounding it. So it's not as openly talked about, and how such forums can change that. It was really easy to imagine how change could happen if you had the people who had the power to create change and the people who would benefit the most from it in the same room. And I feel like that's something that I would definitely take back to Toronto and try to create, is, you know, push for spaces like that where people on both sides of the coin are in the same space talking about a very, very important issue.
You know, a lot of the government departments, they want to measure success. E2 whānau, as far as I'm concerned, is the only one. You tell them what's happening, they give you support, you give them the outcomes, that's it. You know, that's it. And always the team will say, what else can we do? Now for me, that's a partnership.